Everyone. I am going to be trying something a little different for the very first time tonight in my video, where I continue speaking about my timeline in a way to, um, what's the word? So, this is part of what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to try to attempt to speak and communicate my message in a very exhausted state. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired right now. And I am getting, yeah, the spiritual attackings are trying to give me a beat down, and I haven't had them in a while. So I'm having to just dust off a little bit here. Remember where I need to be and remember more of who I am. And I know that's part of the reason why I am having this happen is because I'm in a place where I am, obviously, you all know, trying to get to be the highest, I'm trying to align with the highest version of myself, which is, it's occurring as we speak. But you're watching it like a caterpillar transitioning into a butterfly, literally right now. Um, So this might be good because I hopefully will have more uh, connection to source to be able to really be authentic and speak my truth. I am always speaking my truth right now, but I'm speaking it at times I feel me and maybe I'm wrong. I still feel like I am that the old programmed ways of me living, and surviving for the longest time takes a minute to release that, right? And I've had throughout my healing journey, like I mentioned earlier in earlier videos, I had when I was able to finally get past this insane, scammer human trafficking situation that left me in fear state for 3 years straight every second of the day, where I should have been already healing from my family trauma. That was what I should have been doing there. But I was surviving again. And then I ended up wanting to, or finally being able to start. The catalyst was my last DUI. And that's the part of the story that we're getting up to tonight. How that happened after that crazy mining town in the mountains, how that transpired after that point. Because, like I say, this story is straight up like 3 novels minimum. So, for those of you that resonate with my energy, you and only you will be interested in listening to this jibber jabber. Because I don't say that negatively at myself. It's just I hear it when I watch myself. This is how I'm trying to teach myself, how to communicate more effectively and more gracefully and with charisma. I'd like to be funny. I know I'm funny. It's just I have to usually be around funny people that bring it out in me. And but when I was healing, that was one thing I found out was that, or in the first 2 years of healing, when I was in my space, my spirit team just had me in flow state, and I think they had me in just a protection. Now that I think back on it, because I mean, it was the best time of my life, and I always joke around, and I cried the most I've ever cried in my life, and it was the best time ever. I was getting to know who I was for the first time after 40 years of wearing mask after mask after mask, because of having to do that due to survival mechanisms, well, survival tools from having to endure growing up in a narcissistic, karmic, dysfunctionally toxic, emotionally immature family of many mental illnesses. And the generational traumas go back so deep, so many, like all the icky ones. It's incest, it's extreme mental illness. And just the holding on to the traumas they've held, like all the generations have held on. And this is the thing I saw when I was 20 years old. And this is where the universe, and I speak about this in a previous video, was trying to wake me up, was trying. And I knew I had a mission. I didn't understand what that meant, what really was okay. There was some things that I told myself that I knew that I would never, even because I always thought I'd become a mom. That was a dream always. And one thing I told myself is until I have healed the things that my parents didn't heal in themselves, the unconscious things, I can't become a mother because there's no way I'm going to do to my kids what my parents did to me. And when I say did to me, like I'm not saying that my bad. Let me back up because I'm not saying that with anger anymore. And that's been gone a long time. That's part of why I wanted to heal is because I could grasp that concept earlier. Like, whoa, that means that happened to them and maybe more, And so that's just like, oh, it broke my heart to know that for them, but I didn't understand what that meant. I just knew that I didn't know I was called a generational curse breaker, trauma breaker, a chosen. But I just knew I had a mission, and things started trying to happen for me. The universe was trying to be easy and throw things at me, but I was still so enwrapped in the 3D, and because I was so obedient to my authoritarian dad, and then to have a mentally ill mother right beside him, you couldn't trust her. She was the better of the two. I felt more comfortable around her. I definitely had more fun around her. I thought we had a good relationship until have learned what I learned recently, and then look back on certain times where I spoke to all my therapists about multiple stories. Mostly it was my dad, but there were a couple that always kind of like made me think like, what the fuck? If I was a parent, I would have never done that to my child, sort of thing, or never allowed my child to be exposed to that. Just certain things that, I mean, my friends' parents were always telling me growing up that, they knew there was something different about my parents. And little did I know it was because I was growing up in this narcissistic, completely void of emotion, emotionally immature, just none. Again, due to the fact that they weren't shown that love, So that's why I'm allowed to have, like, it makes me emotional thinking about it, even with as horrible and backstabbing, manipulative, betrayal things that my mom and dad have done to me and other family members. But I still, like, I will always care because, like, I thought I had that family that cared for me. At least I knew it. I knew they didn't know how to care right, but I didn't know it was straight up like they were evil and that they would take their own family members and throw them under the bus for no reason and make up lies about them. And you know what? But today it's interesting because knowing I was going to speak about all this stuff tonight, I thought about that fact where I was like, no, I did know. There were so many things, and this will maybe resonate for you, like, and maybe help you to maybe make the connection to the pieces of the puzzle sooner than 40 years old, that you're growing up in a toxic, narcissistic, emotionally immature, just dysfunctionally toxic family, karmic. And when you're doing that, did you guys see that? I think I had an angel come and hang out with us. Oh, I think I need to slow down for a minute. Hold on. Did you? I was like over here. I swear it was like, it went like whoosh, 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 like that, right? Cool. I like, always get excited when the YouTube people that I watch or follow and subscribe to, and there's few, it's not a lot, but yeah, I have a video on that, on the algorithms of also learning how to discern the right videos coming in so that you can be guided by those visual videos when it's hard as a person with high anxiety, panic attacks to just sit down and read for some of us. So, anyways, getting way off topic here. I am talking about something, and so hold on. Again, just going back to the fact that, yeah, I'm gonna probably be a little bit out of it tonight too, because like I'm in a lot of pain tonight, because of some of these spiritual attacks that are being thrown at me right now. And but like I say, I know who it is, and that's all that matters. So because I do know how to keep myself protected at this point. And I also understand as a chosen seed, the closer we get to the light, that the attacks only get harder. So it's about learning how to rise above them, because that's literally what you do. What you have to do is make sure you're just vibrating higher. And that's why this is going to light me up right now, because I have gotten really excited about using this avenue to help me learn how to get more comfortable speaking in front of more than one person, the world, in theory, potentially. That would be cool. That would be, I can't even wrap my mind around that. That's amazing. But learning how to speak. Yeah, I know. I hear myself. I know what's going on there. This was why I didn't feel ready to speak on camera about anything yet. I just had another bomb of information come into my, through a tower moment, a dark night of the soul, that I am still processing it. And even though I've forgiven, I'm still processing it, because like, I'll be talking about it. So you'll get it and you'll understand it. But I'm so curious to know if other people have dealt with stuff like this. And if people are dealing with like even the exact same, that would be insane. And I mean, but yet at the same time, because of all the research I've done on how many narcissists are actually out there, how they happen, like how they are the way that they are, and knowing what that means. Narcissist is void of emotion. Just what it is, right? So, you know, you're either somebody who has no emotion or you have emotion, right? And so, as this is my perspective, and I'm just going to give my perspective on it. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to hate what I'm going to say, but I don't care, because this is how I feel and it makes sense to me. It might make sense to you. And if it does, sweet. If it doesn't, sweet, But I'm going to say something that, because of like, I've literally been on the narcissistic tour. And for the first 47 years, I had no idea that I was surrounded by them my entire lifetime, and in a soul contract had chosen this to be. But the reason that I understand why my soul would do this is because this, my opinion, is the ultimate experience. If this is an avatar, this is a game, and you're coming in to explore and have fun and be in bliss, what better way to do that than know what bliss doesn't feel like, so that when you get some time to get to bliss, now you can explore it and hang out, versus never having it at all. Or just always having it, not knowing what the contrast is. Then if if we're source as is, we are always wanting that experience, right? So it's about coming to a conclusion for yourself that you're fucking badass, because you chose one of the hardest fucking paths. Because any one of us that's doing this, that understands how fucking tough this is, and how much strength that you have as a person. I mean, I remember thinking this about myself. I'm going to start crying. I'll get a little emotional possibly talking about it, but it's because I'm happy, and it's because it was one of those moments that I cried when I thought, like, when I rationalized that I am fucking strong. I made it through so much. And I did it all by myself with just my two cats, who were my fucking, they were everything to me. They were my girls. And I had them for 19 years. I was going to show people that if you give animals unconditional love, they can live as long. Like tabbies are at least, they should be living at least to 26, 28. And that's what I had. And so finally at 19, but it was due to one of my next couple of topics I'll be speaking about, which is mold exposure. And this one I'm so fucking pumped to talk about because this happened when I was doing the mental healing, the emotional healing, to understand the spiritual healing. And definitely had to learn how to do it fast because this is where the attacks start. And this is where you're getting attacked out of nowhere, literally by invisible stuff. And you're just like, this is happening. Because if you've taken all your toxins and your addictions out of your life and you're doing everything right. But the positive to that is if you're getting attacked that hard, that's how much power you have. I don't even yet. I don't know if I should say this because I'm still trying to learn the things to say, but fuck it. I'm learning my powers and I know I'm powerful. And I know I have more coming that I need to figure out. So excited. If you know this excitement, right? I Okay, let's see here. We're 16 minutes in, 16:45. And see, this like my energy levels have increased since I've started 16 minutes ago because I love being able to speak to my frequency, the frequencies I align with. I've been my whole life, for the most part, quite everybody, but the ones I was hoping would be there, it's been to people that are not even close to my frequency. So my words are very scary to them, they get very defensive, it's very angry because they don't my light's too bright. It shines on their shadows and they're not ready to do that. And those type of people include my family. So, okay. Let me just think here a second because I want to see if I want to continue talking because what I'm noticing here is that even though I'm tired, I'm trying to still get my message out with important things that I want to say and I want to talk about. And I just want people to talk with about this. If it's just out to the void, cool. This is just as exciting. But I know there's going to be people that resonate with this. I cannot wait to fucking meet you all. I feel you. I feel you all. And it's so amazing. It's so amazing. I'm wondering now that I say that. Ooh, sorry, I just had a thought process. Let me hold on a sec. Well, I don't know. I might pause for a second. I need to kind of regroup, but I might be back. This might just be some random message I'm gonna maybe try to just put out because again, the whole point of this is I'm trying to see my evolution, trying to see me at different this I liked tonight because first of all, I'm pushing past the fucking low vibrational dips um to be like, yeah, right? And then I'd like to see, this is how I teach. This is how I teach myself. Is I'm my own research project. I have been for 8 years. I've been on an 8-year healing journey in total, when it originally started. You're going to hear lots of numbers in that regards to that. But I break it down the 8 years and like when it got paused and things like that. So I don't know. I'm feeling definitely probably the most comfortable I've ever felt speaking to you all. Um, maybe it's easier. Maybe I need to try to speak to you guys when I'm in an exhausted state. Maybe that's when I am trying to like, because my guards are down. Yeah, because just to mention why I'm dealing with new pain issues I've never dealt with. And that's why I know because they came out of the blue and I'm young and healthy still. So there's no reason I should be dealing with anything I'm dealing with. And that's just another example of how you know you're getting spiritually attacked. If you are, you can confirm you're not putting toxins in your body of any sort, any sort. Obviously, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, but we're talking food as well, water, any toxin. Products like being organic and consciously organic. That's important. So when you know you're doing that, and and you're only just trying to work on your spiritual healing coaching business, and you keep getting pushback, the only way they can try to affect you is trying to take you down by your body. So they're attempting. That's all I'll tell you. They're attempting. I think it's funny and it's cute. It's very cute. So I am dealing with the pain. And like I say, brand new. So I also love it and say thank you because it's something new. I get to learn how to heal in my body. So yes, fuck yes. Thank you. Like honest to God, thank you. Because the more I know, stronger I become. And I always learn. So yeah, and I'm protected. So I just think it's funny. They were just so used to. I used to be the person that they could gang stalk and they could take down in the physical, and now they're trying in the spiritual. Multiple groups right now, and doesn't matter because I have learned what I needed to have, what I should have known when I started healing. And that's something I definitely would recommend for people is if you don't know what this means, spiritual healing, spiritual protection, I mean, ask me for sure. I definitely would be willing to help you, but at the same, like, I would love to, because for me, it was a game changer, as far as my ascension and my ascension and my progression of forward movement. So yeah, I would love that. But if you don't resonate with me that you'd like to reach out, just at least researching it for yourself. Start looking into things. When spiritual things start coming at you, like, whether it's in books, like in your YouTube feed, things like that, if it's calling out to you, read it. But read multiple sources so that you can, that's for me how I'm able to confirm something is if I can see multiple, I don't mean multiple, just two or three, like multiple, like let's get it, like go do some research, see how many businesses or, so kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry. Because I was talking about, oh yeah, just researching spiritual if you didn't want, but like I say, I would love to like, yeah, this is like going to be part of my curriculum at, when I do get to a place and can get that kind of set is definitely ensuring that I have a spiritual aspect, a spiritual upgrade and learning how to, simple things that you can do to protect yourself. But knowing simple things like you have to be doing it daily. If you shower daily, you have to be doing this spiritual work daily. If you don't shower daily, you need to be doing your spiritual work daily nonetheless. And but that's the thing is if you're needing to do that, you may have to be making sure that you are doing the physical cleansing too, because they can attach that way as well. Dirties, they're dirties. So, okay. Oh, the other thing I was dealing with is, yeah, I there's a lot of like viruses and things going around, right? So, I'm dealing with virus stuff. And since I'm already immunocompromised a little bit still due to the fact of having mold exposure diagnosed a couple years back and still working through it because of having to live in 10 mold homes and campers and some nasty ones. Whoo! um sorry you guys, I'm so tired like Um, so sorry, I might be a little bit more goofy, but maybe this is me more. I don't know. I'm learning. We'll see if it stays consistent. I think it might be. Um, yeah, because that's the thing is you're literally watching in real time as I'm going, yeah, that's something I'm liking. I'm gonna keep that. And kind of weeding through the like this, don't like this, don't like this. Old program, no, I'm good. And I think that's important too. That was one of the things I always wanted to do once I started this process was not only help expose that weird scammer situation that happened to me because I mean, I had to navigate that all by myself with just my cats, two cats, and with barely any money and having to move 12 times to escape, right? And I remember I was like, I got to tell us, like, this is, I have to talk about this. Like, they literally did mess up with the wrong person. However, I had never dealt with somebody that wanted to scare me as much as they had to scare me hard, I guess. Or maybe it wasn't for them. I don't know. But I literally was in fear survival mode for 3 years straight. I barely slept. I remember when I first got to sleep when I was starting to heal, those first 2 years, I slept. Like if I wasn't working, doing therapy, I was sleeping on my days off. Oh, I just rest and relax and that's how I learned how to self-care was during that time period, to slow down and to know that it was okay, that it's not selfish like you would learn growing up in a household and family filled of narcissistic pigs, like um yeah, because you if you slow down and definitely try to do anything for yourself, oh, you, something's wrong with you. You're selfish. That's how that would happen. So I hear this all the time from people too. And it's hard to slow down. Like you do have to, you can't just go, yeah, cool, I'm gonna slow down. It's not how it works. You literally have to kind of like take it in baby steps, take it day by day. And okay, like I guess I'm gonna just not do anything right now. It feels weird because I feel like I want to do like 10 things. But no, who are the 10 things for? If they're not for me, and if I don't want them really, and because I'm doing them for someone else, or I just don't want them, then I'm not going to do them. I mean, you have to talk yourself through all that coming down off of that. That is, yeah, that's not, it's literally we are trained growing up in such dysfunctionally toxic environments, these toxic, dysfunctional ways of living that we have to unlearn how to live healthy and balanced lives. You're like, that's what that looks like. Right? All right. I guess we're at 30 minutes and I've just been kind of jibber jabbering. I'm hoping that it's been oh, the whole point was just to say that I wanted to get on to, bust through the whole program of the low vibrational energies trying to hold me down and hold me back from speaking my truth. I just think it's funny that they always think they try. Like I said, they try. So, you got to give them at least a D minus for trying, right? So, anyways, I think I got everything out that I wanted to say. And on my next video, I am going to finish my timeline after the mining town and going into the next town, it was actually a casino town, but going into this casino town, because there's a lot of opportunity for jobs, and I knew I needed to live there for a little bit anyways, before, because I wanted to try to, I was at that time thinking to go back home, maybe, but I wanted to clean up everything with probation first. So I'm going to go into that story because then I get arrested for my DUI, and that was the definite hard catalyst that really truly was able to start me. But it was also so synchronistic, and it ended up helping me on so many different levels that I figured out that night that I was arrested. Basically, I felt like the universe intervened to keep me safe. So because who knows what would have happened. I was being hardcore pursued at that point. Which is, remember, I had to run from a town to another because some crazy shit was getting ready to go down, and I was the focus. That's all I know, and that's all I can say. But like, I'll mention a little bit more about this. And so thank you for listening up to this point. If you have any comments, I guess, feel free to leave them. I do take constructive criticism, and yeah, just letting you all know that thank you for listening to me as I am very, very tired and in a lot of pain. So having a hard time focus. So I hope I wasn't completely all over the place. I mean, I know I am anyways when I'm talking normally. That is something I am going to be trying to get rid of. I'm trying to, yeah, it's hard to watch myself. So I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who's not me to watch it. And the ones that are okay with it, I'm so excited to meet you because you got to be so patient. And that is exactly what I'm looking to meet. This is a patient, kind person. So, sending my love and gratitude.